do you think of labeling the press as enemy of the people?
Good question. Can I get your name?
His name
Dan.
Dan.
Good to meet you. As I said a moment ago, I think that labeling any industry with good, bad is not something that I think is effective. I think in a democracy, especially ours, which is this beacon that so many others look at throughout the world, we need a robust and free press. That's what makes us better than everybody else. So while I obviously have my frustrations with a lot of the reporters, that's not a label that I would use.
And yet the press has been a useful foil for the president at these rallies in particular, where he has gone further than just calling people in the press enemies of the people. There's some in the press who think that they're being put at risk. Do you think that's a fair concern on the part of the press?
Sure. I do think, though, that to your introduction a moment ago, we've lost this sense of civility. But the problem I have is that I will stand up and defend the press every day of the week. This is, as I just mentioned to Dan, I mean, this is what makes our country great. But at some point, it's a two-way street. And I look and I say, when I get asked this question by folks in the press, okay, well, if you look on the flip side, Sarah Sanders is now the first White House press secretary in history to have a Secret Service detail because threats have been made against her life and her family's. Where's the concern about that? Where's the concern about all of the other government officials who have been targeted or Trump supporters? I joked with a member of the media a while ago doing an event like this. I said, put on a Make America Great hat and walk down the street of D.C. Tell me what. She goes, why? What do you think would happen? I go, I don't think you'd be treated too nicely by a lot of folks in the city. And I think that it's got to be, society has got to start saying we're willing to listen to the other side. We've lost that. And I think it's all around. It's not just a one-way going towards the press. It's how the press treats some of the other folks, how we've all, how a lot of this dialogue has devolved.
Ma'am.
Hi, I'm Susan. Do you think Trump should interview with Mueller? And if yes, why? And if no, why?
It's a tough question, Susan. I'm not a lawyer. And I say that because this is one where you need to sit down and say, I think clearly he has expressed a desire to do it over and over again and said, I want to go do this. But I think his lawyers are saying, here's the exposure you're going to have. If you go talk to somebody, these are the traps they can get you.
But it's only a perjury trap if you lie.
No, look, yes, but in the sense that, look, as I said to Susan, I'm not a lawyer. I know from interactions that I've had that there's a lot of times where lawyers will say, do not go into this area. Once you go down this rabbit hole, you're exposing all these other things. I don't know. These are the conversations that you have under the guise of attorney-client privilege where they can say, tell us everything. We got to know what your exposure is on this, this, and this. And if you think about so many other investigations that have happened in the last couple decades, what starts off as one thing sometimes goes in a totally different direction based on some of the information. And so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what kind of conversations he's had with his attorneys, but that's a job for them to sit down with him and say, let's have a conversation about what it has, let's negotiate the terms of the thing, and then figure it out.
Are you happy or sad not to be the press secretary while Rudolph Giuliani is working for the president?
I will give you this answer. I was honored and privileged to do the job, and I've not missed it one day.
And I'm done. That's it. Exactly. So your life is good now.
Yeah.
It's busy, but it's much more relaxed.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. I'm Kim, and I'm a father of a daughter, and I have sisters and nieces. And this question is about women. And you've worked with Trump quite a bit, it sounds like, and have some perspective on how he really is as a person. Topical question has to do with women's choice, women's reproductive rights. I know right now he's got a Supreme Court justice being considered who probably will very likely be opposed to abortion. Is this what Trump himself really feels, or is he just doing what he knows his base requires?
That's a good question. I've never had a discussion with him on life. I know that when in the interviews that he's had about Kavanaugh, he said that he never asked him specifically about Roe versus Wade or overturning it. But I think all of the justices that he put out on that list during the campaign, I think almost all of them are pro-life.
Well, I would go so far as to say all of them are pro-life.
Right. That's right? don't have the list in my head.
Right, but I think these were all approved by the Federalist Society previously, right? Others
Heritage, yeah.
who supported. I mean, I think we all
Right.
suspect we know what's going on here, with regard to the positions
Well, but I
of
don't
these
think.
judges.
I mean, look, the Republican platform is pretty clear
Right.
On life. I mean, this isn't some shock that. In fact, I would be shocked, to be honest with you, if you have a Democratic president and chooses a Federalist Society pro-life judge, I'd be shocked.
Right.
If you have a Republican president that didn't choose one,
Yeah.
I would be shocked as well. So I understand the issue and the concern of the issue, but I don't think that if you consider where the party is, that there's any kind of shock value to that.
Elections have consequences.
Sure.
It has always been thus. It will ever be thus. And there we have to end. I'm told we're out of time. I'm very sorry.
You
Please
said we
give-
had all the time.
Well, honestly, I've got time if you want to stay, but I know you have to go. Give Sean Spicer a hand. Thank you very much.